Hello learners, welcome to this course on preparation of research proposal in social sciences. I am Dr. Pratik Chaurasia, Assistant Professor, Faculty of Education, Banaras Hindu University. Today we are going to discuss our lecture number 39, which is based on referencing and its various types. Key learning themes. What is referencing? Need of referencing. Major referencing styles. APA style, MLA style, common referencing mistakes, tools and resources for referencing, and best practices for effective referencing. So let us discuss this all one by one. So first of all, we have to understand that what is referencing. So you can see here on the screen, referencing is the systematic method of acknowledging the intellectual property of authors, researchers, or organizations whose work has informed or supported a scholar piece of writing. It involves citing resources or sources within the body of text in text citation and providing full bibliographic detail in a reference list, bibliography or work cited, sections depending on the citation style employed. So you can clearly see that what referencing intends to mean. And in a whole research proposal, whatever component we have discussed from beginning to till now, all the components of a research proposal are highly dependent on two things. Highly dependent on two things. First is review of related literature. Any researcher who has done proper review of literature related to each and every sections of the proposal. For example, when you are defining and articulating introduction of your study without proper and adequate amount of review of literature, you will not able to make it. When you are making rationale of the study, again the review of literature comes very important, and it plays a very significant role in justifying your overall rationale of the study. Similarly, when you see other section also, when you are formulating hypothesis, when you are formulating research question, objective, or when you are selecting research design for your study, you have to take help of review of literature. And it is very important to understand that your review of literature builds a strong foundation for all components of your research proposal. Very strong foundation for your research proposal. And then comes the next aspect, that if you have reviewed so many literatures, how to acknowledge them, because it is not your own. You have read somebody's hard work, somebody's research. Then as a researcher, you have to acknowledge that piece of work. So how you will acknowledge? That comes under referencing. Let us see. Referencing is the practice of providing complete and accurate documentation for all sources of information used in a scholarly work. It involves in-text citation that briefly identify the sources and corresponding entry in the reference list, that provides full bibliographic detail, allowing readers to locate the original material. Another one, let us see here. Referencing is the technical practice of integrating source material into a research text by embedding parenthetical in-text citation, that is author date format, that corresponds to detailed reference entries. Following a formalized style guide such as APA, it ensures data provenance, supports argumentation, and maintains academic rigor. So it is very important for a researcher. When you see, there are many important scientific and technical terms have been coined in these definitions, and you can clearly understand that how important referencing is. And before I go more deeper into the aspects of referencing, I will just say one thing to attract your brain and mind, that how important referencing is, that you know what is plagiarism. You know what is plagiarism. Now it is very famous in the academic fraternity. If you want to avoid plagiarism, you have to use referencing as a tool. You have to use referencing as a tool. Referencing has a ethical aspects also, as well as it has academic aspect also. When you justify your rationale of study with the help of some already done research, you are using academically, academic aspects you are using. But when you are referring some other works, acknowledging some other works, you are doing the ethical aspects of that uh, research work. As a researcher, you are showing your ethics, that this is my value, I am using somebody works, I am referring it properly, whether in text citation or full reference. So you can see here that referencing is the technical practice of integrating source material. Very, very important that every component must have the source material. It may be case that one author's work may have been cited by other authors also, but when you as a researcher referring somebody's work, it is always recommended and suggested that you trace the original source, that original source of that author. Do not take from the other's author. Therefore, it gives you a flexibility that you embedded the aspects which you have learned in the form of review of literature related to your research, and that is called citation. In text citation we have already discussed. So this is how referencing is very, very pivotal and very, very important for a researcher. And most importantly, the moment you miss your reference in your research proposal, your research proposal is not valid, neither acceptable, even it will not be entertained by any authority, any institution or any person concerned. So be very, very sure that without references your research proposal is null and void. It has no meaning. Let us see some more definitions of referencing. Referencing is a standardized method used in academic writing to document and attribute intellectual property, ensuring traceability. Very, very important. It is helpful in tracing the original source, ensuring traceability of information source through structured in-text citation and a corresponding bibliographic record. In APA style, referencing fulfills both ethical and methodological function to credit original author and to enable verification and replication of scholarly claims. Very, very important. You can see here that it is not only you are mentioning some others work. Referencing is not limited only to mention some other works. The moment you refer some work, it is very, very useful in verifying, in replicating, and as well as giving credit to original authors. So you can see that how referencing can play a very important role in terms of enhancing credibility also. Let us see another definition. In APA style, referencing involves two interdependent components: in-text citation, which briefly identify a source by authors and year of publication, and second, a reference list, which provides comprehensive publication details of every source cited. And this process promotes scholarly transparency and enables readers to locate and access source material independently. So with this all discussion, you can understand clearly that how referencing plays a crucial role in terms of formulating your research idea into a proposal, as well as it provides you a scholarly support that whatever you have done is being supported and guided by the several kind of research studies that you will mention in the form of reference. Need of referencing, very important for a researcher to understand that why you actually need referencing. You can see here on the screen, acknowledgement of intellectual property. Here I will just clearly mention it, that whatever you are reading in the form of a book, research paper, monograms, or other academic aspects, they are available in the form of intellectual property. These all are intellectual property which belongs to the author. Always remember, it is intellectual property, and since it is a property, there will be some owner, and that owner is the author of that book, paper, whatever you are reading. So do not infugate into this thing and make mistake that you are not acknowledging this intellectual property, and referencing is required, because with the help of referencing you can acknowledge intellectual property. Next is avoidance of plagiarism. Very important, very serious, because plagiarism has many kinds of rule and regulation, and if you omit the plagiarism rules, it comes under the category of offense. So be very smart and very attentive and very focused while you are framing your research proposal, especially when it comes to the plagiarism aspect. Be particular with your referencing. Strengthening arguments and credibility. Very important that when you do referencing in a proper manner, in a desired manner, it strengthens various arguments. For example, when you are strengthening the justification rationale with the help of various sources, it strengthens your arguments as well as gives credibility. Enabling verification and reproducibility. Very important that with the help of reference, whatever you have mentioned can be verified and can be reproduced. Some other researcher can see your movement with reference to with respect to your reference. And here I would like to highlight that many a times your references says all. Says all means how you have reviewed and what quality of literature you have reviewed. It shows all. So when you prepare your research proposal, be very specific with your referencing. It demonstrates research depth. Just now I have said that the quality of review you have done will say all, that what kind of proposal you are going to make, because no proper review, no proper study can be formed, because whatever you will say on the basis of only what you felt. But when you do it with the help of review of literature, you will come up with some solid arguments, and that will demonstrate your research depth. And last and final is compliance with academic and institutional standards. Very important again, that when you are doing your reference, it is making alignment with academic and institutional standards, and as a researcher it is always administered that whatever you are doing in your research proposal in the form of different studies, you have to refer it with a proper referencing style, whatever is desired. Need of referencing in research proposal. This is another very important thing, that sometimes we feel that we can prepare our research proposal separately and we can prepare 5-7 pages separately as a reference list. No, the moment you make your research proposal, be very particular with inclination between what you have written and your reference list. So you can see here why referencing is required in a research proposal. It demonstrates knowledge of existing literature. It demonstrates knowledge of existing literature. It justifies the research problem. It adds credibility to methodological choices. It prevents plagiarism and ensures ethical integrity. Enables reviewers to verify sources. Supports the feasibility and relevance of the study. All these requirements, you can see that because of this all aspects, we need to have a referencing in a research proposal. And if you can have a reference in your research proposal, definitely you are going to fulfill all these requirements. Now, major referencing styles. There are some famous referencing styles in the field of social sciences. You can see the first one, which is widely used and very famous, commonly known as APA style of referencing. It stands for American Psychological Association style, commonly used in psychology, education, social sciences. MLA, Modern Language Association style, and it is commonly used in humanities, literature and cultural studies. Third is Chicago style, commonly used in history, sociology and anthropology. Fourth is Harvard style, commonly used in social science, business and economics. Vernacular style, commonly used in health sciences, biomedical research as well as in psychology. And last is IEEE, that is Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers style, and commonly used in engineering, computer science, social science with technical focus. So among all these six, what I have just discussed and shown you on the screen, American Psychological Association style is widely used, especially in the field of social sciences, and most important to be discussed. So let us discuss APA style. What is it is actually? You can see here on the screen. APA stands for American Psychological Association. APA stands for American Psychological Association. The APA style is one of the most widely used referencing styles, particularly in social sciences, including fields like psychology, education, sociology, and other related disciplines. It provides guidelines for citing sources in text as well as the full citation in a reference list at the end of a document. Website I have mentioned here, you can see, you can utilize it for having more understanding towards APA style, because APA style is basically proposed idea that how you have to refer various kind of academic materials. And here I would just like to highlight that to refer a book, a technique is different. To refer a paper, technique is different. The style is different. Referencing pattern is different. To refer a newspaper, pattern is different. So, different kinds of academic materials have different kinds of a citation and reference style under APA style. So, you can go to this website and see that how other aspects of APA styles of referencing works. And let us discuss with a very small example here that you can see on the screen, that first, second, third, fourth author, how they have been written: Grady, J. S. M. Moreno, G. And similarly you can see the year is mentioned in the bracket 2019, and then topic of the research: emotions in storybooks, a comparison of a storybook that represent ethical and racial groups in the United States. And then after, psychology of popular media culture, name of the journal where it has been published. And then after, you can see issue and volume 83, page number 207 217, and then you have at the last DOI of the article. So this is how we write a reference of a research paper with APA style, and under this you can see how we cite similar paper, same paper under the citation with parenthetical style. You can see here on the screen, and under the narrative citation you can cite it like that. So this is very important for a researcher to understand that how to cite properly and how to write a reference. And when you are using APA style, especially in social sciences, it is recommended go to the website and see the detail aspect of APA style. Now, common referencing mistake. Let us see one by one. Omitted references. Description. In-text citations are not listed in the bibliography or vice versa. Avoidance strategy. How to avoid it? You can see here. Cross-check all in-text citation with the reference list. Very important. There will be many cases that when you are doing citation in an in-text in the body of research proposal, and some citations you are missing at the last while you are doing references. So make a check of this. Incorrect format. Deviating from the prescribed referencing style, that is APA, MLA. How to avoid it? Adhere strictly to the chosen style guide. This is very important, that when you are doing referencing in your research proposal, do not do references with the help of various kind of a style. Prefer one style, which one is required and desired by the institution, do that one. Inconsistency. Mixing multiple citation styles within one document. How to avoid? Use one consistent referencing style throughout. Missing page numbers. Very important. Most of the time while you do referencing, you can miss the page numbers. You can just recall, I have just shown you in a previous slide that how to mention page number. So omitting page number in direct quotation, and then what will be the avoidance strategy? Include page numbers for all direct quotes. Over quoting. This is also common mistake that we have to avoid. Excessive use of direct quotations instead of paraphrasing. How to avoid it? Use quotes selectively. Prioritize paraphrasing with proper citation. Uncited paraphrasing. Very serious, very important, very problematic mistake in a referencing. Paraphrasing without attribution. Always cite the original source even when rephrased. You have to cite, and that is where the role of a researcher become very important in terms of ethical consideration. If you are not citing the original source, you are going to come under the category of plagiarism. Unreliable or broken source. Referencing outdated, inaccessible or non-scholarly material. Here it is very important to understand that as a researcher you have to make a proper classification between what to use, what not to use, what is to be used in a reference, what is to be used in a in-text citation. Be very clear. How to avoid it? Use peer-reviewed, credible and up-to-date sources with the stable link. Whatever research paper, whatever book you are reading, make sure that they are authentic and they are frontline journals, published under frontline journals with their reputed publishers. Misuse of at all. This is very important. You can see here ETAL dot. We use it for referencing or citing when you have more than one author. You can use it like that. So you can see incorrect application of author names and abbreviation. It will also be counted as a error and mistake in reference. How to avoid it? Follow citation rules for multi-author references. So this is all how and what are kind of a common referencing mistakes that should be avoided while doing referencing in a research proposal. Tools and resources for referencing. Let us see here. Now we are in a world of a digital software world, and I have mentioned many a time that there are many kind of a software support, digital support that you can utilize judiciously to make your research proposal more sound. So for referencing also there are some tools and resources. Let us discuss all this one by one. First is Zotero, a very common and very famous reference manager. Purpose: collect, organize, cite and share references. Very important. And it is highly advised to the researchers that referencing is a more technical, time taking and concentrative based work. It is not that you are writing your thought. It is not like that. You have to take care of the full stop, you have to take care of the comma, you have to take care of the parenthesis, and you have to take care of the other details of the paper and related to author. Single mistake can make your full referencing wrong. Therefore, it is advised and suggested, if you can utilize these resources also, they will serve you as a good tool in order to make your referencing properly. Key features of Zotero: browser extensions, group library, Word, Google Doc plugins. Mendeley is another most important and most famous as well as widely used software for reference manager. Purpose: manage PDFs and generate citation. It manages PDFs and generates citations for you. Key features: PDF annotation, cloud synchronization and citation plugin. Third is EndNote. It is also a reference manager and purpose is advanced citation management for researcher. Key features: library sharing, citation style, integration with MS Word. RefWork. It is also a kind of a software which helps you for reference managing. Cloud-based referencing and bibliographic tool. Database import, collaborative work, style and formatting. Next is Google Scholar. It is provided by the Google itself. Type search engine tool. Locate academic articles and auto-generate citations. Cite button for quick APA MLA Chicago format. Next is Purdue OWL. It is also a kind of educational resources which helps in instruction on citation style in academic writing, and key features are comprehensive MLA, APA and Chicago style guides. And next is Citation Machine. It is also a kind of a citation generator. Purpose is quick citation formatting, and key features: it supports APA, MLA, Chicago and Harvard style of referencing. And last is Microsoft Word, very common, very frequently used by all of us. Word processor tool. It's a kind of word processor tool. Purpose is built-in citation and bibliographic features. And what are the key features? Format selection, in-text citation and automation. Best practices for effective referencing. You can make a note of this thing, that what are the practice and what are the key practices. Let us discuss. First is use scholarly source. Key points: prioritize peer reviewed and credible publication. It is very and highly recommended that use credible publications. Be consistent. Follow one citation style throughout the work. Do not mix the citation style throughout the research proposal. Follow one uniform style of citation. Cite all sources. Acknowledge every source used, including data, media. Quote and paraphrase correctly. Use quotes sparingly and paraphrase with citation. Match in text and reference list. Key point: ensure all in-text citations appear in the reference list. Use citation tool. Just now I have mentioned, use citation tool. It will help you. Key points: it will leverage Zotero, Mendeley or EndNote for accuracy. Proofread references. This is very, very important. Here I will mention one thing, that whatever you are going to do references with the help of these tools also, they can also make mistake, because there may be mistake in your input, so output can be mistake. So proofread your references, check for formatting, spelling and completeness. Avoid plagiarism, attributes all idea and avoid unacknowledged borrowings. Key suggestions, you can make a note of it, that while you do referencing in your research proposal, these suggestions are very, very important for you. You can see here, use the appropriate referencing style. What is desired, use only that one. Understand when to cite. Citing does not mean that you are citing throughout the body of research proposal. Cite only whenever it is required. Be consistent. Consistent in terms of style, format and write-ups. Create accurate reference entries. Use citation management tools. Verify sources. Avoid over-reliance on non-scholarly websites unless justified by context. This is very serious, that look into this thing. Whatever you are referring should be credible. Use hanging indentation in your reference list. It is a format required, use it like that. And last, proofread your references carefully and organize entries alphabetically by author surname. So concluding discussion for this lecture, adhere strictly to prescribed style guidelines, employ reference management software which can be very, very useful for you. Second, maintain consistency between in-text citation and reference list. And third and last is review and verify all references prior to submission, because there can be human error, there can be software based error, there can be any other technical error. So moment you form your research proposal, you prepare your research proposal and you form your reference list, look it twice and look at the criteria over which you have defined and designed your referencing. So this is all from this lecture. Thank you so much.